Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, you're just stuck? Like you're running on a treadmill in this middle-class survival trap. You put in the grueling hours, but true financial freedom still feels, honestly, light years away. Well, today, we're breaking down the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. We're going to reveal 5 absolutely game-changing principles, plus a special happiness bonus that can completely rewire how you view your time, your unique skills, and ultimately your entire financial destiny. Let's get right into it.
We've got a great roadmap today for systematically shifting your wealth paradigm. We're going to cover wealth versus money, specific knowledge, the 3 leverages, equity and judgment, and long-term games. And definitely stick around because we're saving that ultimate happiness bonus for the very end.
All right, Section 1, the wealth versus money illusion. Okay, so the first major illusion, the one that traps like 80% of people, is confusing status chasing with actual wealth. You know the drill. Buying the newest iPhone on an EMI plan you can barely afford just to look rich to society. That's just status. To break free from that, we have to really contrast money against true wealth. See, money is linear. You trade your time from 9 to 5 for a fixed paycheck. The exact second you stop working, the money completely stops. But wealth? Wealth is an entirely different beast. Think about Mukesh Ambani for a second. If he just decides to not go into the office tomorrow morning, his income doesn't even blink. His businesses and assets, they just keep humming in the background, generating massive value.
And this crucial point is summed up absolutely perfectly by Naval Ravikant himself. Wealth is nothing but assets that earn while you sleep. It's so simple, right? Wealth is a YouTube channel. It's a scalable software business. It's dividend-paying stocks. It's a machine that works for you continuously, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether you're actively grinding, traveling, or, best of all, fast asleep.
Moving right along to Section 2, unlocking your specific knowledge.
Now, to actually build those magical sleep-earning assets, you need the right tool, and that tool is your specific knowledge. This is a highly unique skill that is naturally yours. Think about it like this. If society can train you in a classroom to do a standard job, well, they can easily train someone else to replace you. Take Fabian, the founder of Odoo, as an incredible example here. He didn't just memorize a standard syllabus. Instead, he leaned into his natural childhood obsession with coding. He literally built a billion-dollar company out of a tiny room, and yet the guy is so grounded he still takes a rickshaw to work. He leveraged what was fundamentally his, a specific knowledge that nobody else could just easily replicate or go to school for.
So, to find your own specific knowledge, we have to look inward for a second. Ask yourself, what did you do effortlessly as a kid? Seriously, think back. Were you the one constantly taking apart gadgets just to see how they ticked? Or maybe you were the kid who was a total natural at explaining really complex topics to your classmates. Next up, ask yourself, what feels like total play to you but looks like exhausting work to everyone else? Pursuing your genuine curiosity is always going to be following whatever happens to be trending. If you can sit there for hours analyzing business trends or designing graphics, and the time just absolutely flies by, pay attention, because that's a massive clue. And you know what's really fascinating? Just notice how combining seemingly totally unrelated skills creates a wildly unique and irreplaceable niche. Let's say you have a deep passion for cooking, you've got great camera skills, and you're fluent in a regional language. On their own, they're cool, but combine those 3 together, suddenly you have the exact perfect foundation to become a massive regional food content creator. It's like your own personal superpower.
To wrap up this little specific knowledge audit, think about this. What advice do your friends consistently come and ask you for? Are they always hitting you up for tech support? Or maybe they come to you for relationship advice? How other people naturally perceive your value actually tells you a whole lot about where your specific knowledge lies.
Which brings us to Section 3, mastering the 3 leverages. Okay, here's the catch. Working on your specific knowledge alone, that still just makes you a laborer. To truly scale, to blow the roof off your earning potential, you need leverage. Leverage is the magic mechanism of taking a 1x input and turning it into a 10,000x output. And there are 3 main types you can use. First up is labor, basically having other people work for you. It's the oldest form out there, but let's be real, it's incredibly hard to manage. You've got office politics, HR headaches, the whole shebang. Second is capital, having money work for you. Think investing in stocks or real estate, but that requires immense trust from other people to give you that money. However, it's the third type that is Naval's absolute favorite for modern wealth creation.
And that is code and media leverage. These are literally the ultimate modern tools for scaling. You write a piece of code once, like the founders of Facebook did, or you create a piece of media once, just like this very explainer. You put the hard effort in exactly one time, but that product can be consumed by millions of people with absolutely zero extra cost to you. Your effort doesn't increase per viewer. This beautiful decoupling of your time from your outcome, that is exactly what creates massive, life-changing wealth.
Let's dive into Section 4, equity, mindset, and judgment.
To actually use these incredible tools of leverage properly, you have to make a really profound cognitive shift.
You have to take personal accountability and completely step away from traditional linear thinking. Just consider this stark contrast. Salary thinking is linear. It's totally focused on just surviving until the next payday, crossing your fingers and hoping for a promotion. Equity thinking, on the other hand, is focused entirely on increasing the underlying value of your skills, your product, or a company. Think about a highly educated doctor who trades their time for a fixed salary. They're only ever going to earn what their hours allow. But the hospital owner? They have an equity mindset. They earn a fraction of the value created by 50 doctors all working simultaneously. That's the difference.
But here's the thing. Taking on that kind of ownership requires incredible judgment. And judgment really just means considering the long-term consequences of your actions. So here's a quick framework for making those big decisions. First, if you're faced with a massive life choice, like a huge investment or a business partnership, and you just cannot decide, the answer is always no. If it's not a heck yes, it's a no. Second, focus on simply avoiding dumb mistakes rather than trying to guess the future perfectly. And third, use mental models, like economics or game theory, to view situations objectively instead of just reacting emotionally in the heat of the moment.
All right, Section 5, playing long-term games. Making these great decisions requires you to really fight our modern addiction to instant gratification. Because, truth be told, true value takes time. Warren Buffett's financial journey brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of playing the long game. Today, we celebrate him as this genius investor worth over $100 billion. But check out his net worth at age 50. It was actually less than $1 billion. Let that sink in. 99% of his wealth was actually built after he turned 50. That is the mind-bending reality of compound interest. Most people just give up way before the compounding really takes off. So be patient.
And finally, Section 6, the happiness bonus. So, we've talked a lot about specific knowledge, leverage, and patience. But wealth is honestly only one part of the whole equation. Our brains are fundamentally wired as survival machines, constantly stressing about the next step and leaving us with this nagging, missing feeling. But true success absolutely includes happiness. And get this, happiness is a highly personal, completely learnable skill. It starts with some very practical hacks. Reduce your alcohol and sugar intake to stabilize your mood. Do a social media detox to just quiet your mind. Prioritize your sleep and exercise. And crucially, this is a big one, upgrade your close circle of 5 friends. You automatically become the average of the people you surround yourself with, so choose wisely.
Now, beyond just physical habits, you need a solid mental framework to avoid the absolute misery of overthinking. In any difficult situation, force yourself to choose one of 3 distinct paths. Number 1, change it. Take direct, massive action. Number 2, accept it. Just genuinely make peace with the situation. Or number 3, leave it. Remove yourself from it entirely. True suffering simply comes from sitting in the middle, doing absolutely none of these, and just complaining about it.
The harsh reality is that even after learning all of this today, over 90% of people will just remain trapped by their comfort zones and their middle-class conditioning. But now, you have the blueprint. So here's my question for you. Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone, take full accountability, and finally change your choices? The entire path is laid out right here in this explainer. What you do next is entirely up to you.